I was blessed to be raised by an educator. I had a single mom who worked 3 jobs outside of just teaching, and it was an incredible opportunity for me growing up to learn life lessons through the lessons she was learning in the classroom. I think those same lessons could have applied to any leader at any point, at any time, but in this case, she was a teaching leader that was able to influence youth in an incredible way that I've always hoped to be able to do. One story that my mom told me growing up that really made a profound difference involved an older teacher that was maybe 40 years older than her, very close to retirement. My mom was a young teacher. She felt like she knew everything. Just out of college, she had all the theory memorized. She'd been in school herself. She'd been a great student. And what happened? She got to the classroom and nobody obeyed what she said. She got very frustrated. So she'd really get on the kids. She'd yell at them, and she'd write home to their parents, and she'd do all these things. One day, this older teacher came in when my mom was nearly in tears at another frustrating day where the kids didn't do their homework, where they didn't want to sit down, where they didn't want to stop talking. And the teacher said, "Tammy, your problem is that you don't understand that sometimes kids' shoes don't fit." I was like, "What are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense. Shoes don't fit." She said, "Sometimes kids' shoes don't fit." So my mom thought about it, and she went home and stayed up most of the night thinking about that statement. Sometimes kids' shoes don't fit. Well, come a couple weeks of the same sorts of experiences where the kids didn't listen, where they didn't want to follow her, where they didn't care much of what she was teaching, she finally realized what this older and wiser teacher was trying to teach her. It's that some of these kids had kids of their own. Some of these kids were dealing with parents in prison. Some of these kids were dealing with learning disabilities that hadn't been diagnosed. Some of these kids were hungry because they didn't have enough food to eat. Some of these kids were homeless, or they had a home that didn't have a roof. And the only common denominator that my mother could find between all of these kids that were struggling was that all of them were wearing shoes that were 2 or 3 sizes too small, because when it came time to come back to school, the decision was, do we eat today or do we buy our child new shoes? And so my mom thought, if nothing else, then I would be ornery as well if my shoes didn't fit. And I came to school every day and my feet hurt. Well, I think we can apply that to our own leadership, can we not? The people within our organizations probably aren't homeless. They probably aren't dealing with some of the crises that these children were dealing with. But every adult, whether it be insecurities or whether it be not knowing their purpose, not understanding the vision, not seeing how their purpose within the organization applies to the overall goals. Maybe it's trust. Maybe it's a lack of understanding, a lack of technical skill. Whatever it is, their shoes don't fit. And like my mother, our motto ought to be, and our challenge is, to help people metaphorically find shoes that fit. Because if they fit, all those insecurities go away. We have the possibility to accomplish more than we ever thought we could accomplish as an organization, as leaders. What if we didn't think about money, but instead thought about confidence as the way we as leaders pay our people? What if we thought about happiness as the currency in which we measure the success of our organization? As soft as it sounds, realistically, we know that whatever our organization does, whether it be to make a profit, whether it be to change lives, whether it be to enhance school spirit, that if happiness and confidence and people in the right places at the right times is taking place, our bottom line will increase. There's no question. That's statistically proven, that you know that in your heart, that that is true. I think of one time a young student council advisor had a kid come in and they said, "We don't know where to stick this kid. You know, he's worthless, he's useless. Just, can you take him into your class?" And the student council advisor said, I can take him. And for the first 3 or 4 days, he just sat there. He just sat there, he did nothing. Leaned back in his chair, put his head back, said, I don't want to do anything. I'm worthless. I'm useless. What kind of negativity is that? Well, it was the negativity that he'd heard his whole life. He'd probably never been told that he was loved. He'd probably never been told that he was worth anything at all. So the student council advisor said, I don't think that you're worthless. In fact, I bet there's something that you really love to do. What is it that you love to do? He said, well, I like to draw. He said, wonderful. We need 5 posters made for the upcoming dance, and you're in charge. So I can't be in charge. I'm not a leader. I think you could be a leader of this. In fact, here's 3 or 4 people that will work with you. And those 3 or 4 people sustained him, guided him. And in the end, beautiful posters were produced. Confidence was restored. Shoes that once were 2 or 3 sizes too small began to fit perfectly. And he went on to go to college and have a career and be successful. Now, as leaders of organizations, that's the exact kind of person that you want within your organization. Somebody with confidence, somebody that has happiness, that brings a positive attitude every day into the group and into the team. But it starts with you being that leader yourself. It starts with helping others to gain shoes that fit. But first you have to know them. And first you have to love them. And first you have to care for them as more than just an object, but as somebody that's contributing to the greater purpose of what you're trying to accomplish. And if you do that, you will be the leader that my mom had so long ago that knew very well that our purpose is to help others to have shoes that fit.